pussy clot. I'm sorry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 420 of the AllYouCanHear podcast. My name is Wenzel, and joining you today is my other co-host,
Ganja. Puffin Daddy? No Puff Daddy. No Puff Daddy. That's no cool anymore. Weed. I don't even do drugs. Colt.
Okay. And if you could tell from that intro what this episode is going to be about, this is going to be us just talking about our general thoughts about the newest entry into the Chainsaw Man anime, and that is the Chainsaw Man movie, the Reze Arc. This is a continuation of the anime. It is an adaptation of the 5th and 6th volumes of the manga, and this takes place pretty much right after where season 1 ends, and so we're gonna talk about that today. This isn't in our usual review and discussion, since we're kind of having to change our setup. I'm currently having internet issues, so really the only way to have done this is to basically record in my car with lapel mics while we are at the movie theaters. Currently,
this is not a right after review because we watched it last night and we're watching different movies today.
Yeah,
so we didn't come back to the theater parking lot just to record this. That'd be weird.
No, we're currently in the middle of, or we just started a triple feature. We just watched our first movie, and we watched it Friday night. It officially premiered on Thursday, October 23rd, and we watched it on the 24th. Of course, we watched the sub version as well.
And we watched it in 3D.
It was very... I did not realize that the afternoon showings are all in 3D, whether they be subtitled or dubbed. It's all in 3D, but the ones that are in at noon were just regular.
Yeah,
digital.
When everyone's at fucking work, and the only people that can watch are people that are not at work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really complaining super much about watching it in 3D because it was good. It was good. It's still a great experience in 3D. It's just, I was telling Wenzel last night, it was hard to follow some of the fights in 3D because your eyes were struggling to figure out what the fuck, what should I focus on. Anime is not really fit for 3D, if you ask me.
It was still a really cool experience seeing that though, but I definitely it definitely felt boxed in, is the best way I can describe it. Very similar to what Colt said, about how it was kind of hard to follow, but it felt also like looking through a box. But again, it was part of the effect, and it was still pretty cool. Should mention though, it's very funny that we get into the theater and the only lights that were on were the top biggest lights in the theater. Brightest fucking lights were on for all of the trailers and for the first 5 minutes of the movie. It was very frustrating.
It was like you're being interrogated. It felt like the Black Ops scene where it's like, what are the numbers in Mason? Fuck you!
Yeah,
kiss my ass!
You have this huge light shining on us. Luckily, the first 5 minutes, it's actually probably one of the brightest scenes in the movie. It was very cool too. It's this sequence that looks ripped straight out of the manga, but in motion, of Denji confronting the door that he has of certain things that are locked away in his mind, and of Vegeta telling him not to open this door. It was in, like I said, it's in black and white too. It's really cool. It's very cool.
And speaking of motion, Denji got motion, apparently. He can get some... he can rizz up Reze.
Again, this whole film is created, or it's animated by Mappa. All the cast is returned from season 1 to voice characters. It's directed by Tetsuya Yoshihara. The music is done again by Kensuke Ushio, and let me see real quick for this as well, because the intro, I love the intro too. We get an intro for the movie that just really shows you kind of what's in the movie, and in a little bit of foreshadowing for stuff later in the season. Not much though, so it's just strictly to content that's in the film itself.
It's basically an anime opening, but
Yeah.
for a movie. It's strange because you don't really get those.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just you definitely don't. You get intros and openings for like films, but
Not like this.
I mean, it's just like a normal film, which I thought was cool. Kenshi Yonezu performed the film's theme song, which is the opening, Iris Out, while the ending song is Jane Doe by Yonezu and Hikaru Utada.
Oh.
Yeah.
They are really good, famous for the Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts. Great singer.
And, for those who don't remember either, Yonezu did the opening for the first season, Kickback.
Yeah, it did sound similar.
Yeah, so he was returning for that, but it was very good. I love the opening. God, it is just as good, in my opinion, as the season 1 opening.
It's got beautiful animation, obviously, but it's also got the famous little manga. If you're reading the manga, if you've read the physical manga, in the volumes they have these little chapter breaks where it's a little in the corner. Pochita will be doing these little side things, and it showed all the ones where he dances pretty much.
Yeah,
it was very fun.
It was very fun. And so far the film has grossed $76.8 million.
God damn.
And
you think that one Wayans brother is going to comment and say "fuck anime"?
Oh, maybe. So that's actually something that happened recently. Was Marlon Wayans from who starred in him. God,
is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Well, just know we probably talked for about 15 to 20 minutes.
We talked for 15 minutes because it was at where did I see 22 minutes at some point? I saw 22 minutes. Oh, because I was looking at the fucking time, and we started. Yeah. So we had been recording we had been talking for fucking 15 minutes to only realize that for some reason the recorder just stopped.
Yeah. So after I think Marlon Wayans did it. He's got mad at us because he said "fuck anime" and we shit talked him.
It's just funny because so for those who don't know, Marlon Wayans had a recent snippet where he said "fuck anime" because in his film, the film Him that he was recently in, premiered around the same time as the Demon Slayer movie. Demon Slayer ended up beating him at the box office, and he was joking, of course, but his co-star, the lead star, Tariq Withers, I believe is his name, said "don't mess with anime." So it was all in good spirits, but it's very funny. At least they recognize.
Recognize game. Anime will kill you if you don't fucking respect us.
Gosh, I can't believe we were talking for so much, and I was actually like saying what I wanted to say. Fuck.
Well, just to start us off with, I fucking loved this film. I love Chainsaw Man. I will say I read this. I'm trying to remember everything I said.
I know.
I read this years ago in 2020, whenever I first started collecting manga again. Chainsaw Man was one of the first ones I collected. I read through every single chapter in like 4 hours, and I forgot most of it. So for this movie, I forgot so much shit. I forgot about Reze being like a Russian agent, maybe. I don't know. We don't really get that information.
No, she is. I'll explain it later.
And then we get like I don't remember the killer being there. I do remember the baby. There's tiny details I completely forgot about outside of the Reze dingy date.
It's very funny because we were talking about this because I, like Cole, Chainsaw Man was not the first manga that I started to collect. Well, yeah, it was.
It's not the first manga I started collecting, but once I started getting heavy into it.
No, sorry. What I mean is, it's probably one of the first manga series that I was actively collecting.
Because I got some Naruto volumes from like 2007 in my collection.
Yeah, at that time, I had One Punch Man. I had Promised Neverland. Yeah, so it's not the first. Honestly, it's actually the third. Because thank you to Pat because he's the one that told us about Chainsaw Man. I remember when the first volume came out, I immediately bought it because, sure enough, when it came out, it sold out like everywhere. They had to do a second printing of it because it was selling out so fast.
It's crazy. I dived right into Berserk, Fire Punch, and Chainsaw Man, basically. Are my first 3 real big mangas.
Yeah.
They're all very fucked up.
Yeah, I think because before I even bought it, I read it first on the app. It was actually the first series I read on the app, actually. Like Colt, it's been so long since I've read it, and I read it very quickly. I loved it. Oh God, I'm trying to remember everything I fucking said now. God, this kills me. This fucking kills me that it didn't record any of that. Fuck.
There were some very, very iconic moments that Mappa, their skilled, beautiful animators, they try to respect the source as much as possible. They fucking knocked it out of the park. Like, for example, the scene where she's holding up both of the heads. In the manga, you can see her body clearly, but in this one, they made it spookier, in my opinion, because she looks like a fucking demon. Guess what? She is.
She is. It's very terrifying. As with any sort of adaptation, one of the things I love that is said about to do a proper adaptation of something is that it shouldn't replace it; it should elevate it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it definitely.
I don't want no 101.
It elevated it. Like it completely just. It was incredible. Like it is one of the best films this year. It is one of, if not the best animated film this year so far. It just incredible animation, gorgeous, so vivid, looks, oh my God, just so fluid too.
Also, it just made me like Kensuke Ushio. I don't think we could cover it. No,
it didn't catch that.
Kensuke Ushio, he is a master worker when it comes to making music. He knows how to make you fucking cry. And this movie, it made me feel like dog shit the first 40 minutes of it because you just know what's coming if you've read it. And even if you haven't read it, you should probably get the vibes of there's too many good things happening right now. Shit's going to go down soon. And it does.
Yeah, that's Fujimoto's style. It is said this so many times. It is like a roller coaster. There might be a few slow parts, but it just ramps up and it keeps going and basically doesn't fucking stop. What I loved about the Reze arc specifically is that it encapsulate in just of itself the major themes of Chainsaw Man. That is childhood trauma, loss, betrayal, love, abuse. Like it is, they encapsulate it all into just this film that I just think is like incredible. Even having read it and stuff, I never would have imagined that it not getting a proper season but being turned into a film would just pay off so much that it would. And then even if it got turned into a proper season, I mean, these things I'm saying, it still would have done. It just blows my mind that having watched it and now catching these things and really I guess basically revisiting the Reze arc, because I haven't really reread it, so revisiting it and realizing these things about it, I'm just like, God damn, it is so and like I said, it elevates it and it is incredible.
Yeah, I know it sounds like we're just floundering a little bit. It's because we talked a lot and we covered a lot.
We covered a lot in that time that we were talking.
But they fucking respect the characters very well. Power's got a big fat belly because she drank so much blood. She's like, "Oh, my fat belly." I did say this last time, so I'm saying it again. And she had so much belly blood.
Yeah, I mentioned this. They don't know that, but basically, like I said, this takes place right after season 1. So they fight zombies, and Power consumes a lot of the blood of the zombies, and this gives her a lot of power, and she actually grows 4 horns. So she has to go to Makima so they can drain her blood, and she's basically out of commission for however long, because now
he's not in this movie. Basically,
that means that Denji gets a new buddy. He gets Beam, the Shark Fiend, who we have seen, who does some foreshadowing here and there of Chainsaw Man's importance to the Devils, as he consistently refers to him as Lord Chainsaw. I won't say too much, but I really do enjoy. I don't want to say friendship, but
they develop a friendship.
Kind of. Their interact, like their companionship.
They both have like the same kind of dumbassness that really is fun.
It is, yeah. And then Aki gets actually the Angel Devil, and we really see
he just wants to fuck that little angel. That sounds crazy. He wants to fuck that angel, basically. And you see the proof in the pudding, the way he cradles him after he's like, I don't care, I lost 2 months of my life for you, little twink boy. That happens in the movie.
Okay, he doesn't say that, but
he does cradle him.
And
you can't deny it. I mean, that was a sensual cradle.
And he does lose some of his life, but I don't think he lost 2 months. I think he lost more than that.
I thought it was 5 years, and he says
he has 5 years left to live. I always assume that what happens is that he has 5 years left to live, then he touches Angel, and then that takes it off to where he only has 2 months to live. Obviously, if you're coming into this,
he just you know what? The rest of his life, he said, if I don't do anything, I'm going to be getting some twink hole. And he threw away the rest of his life. I loved
how this movie, we get to see more of Angel Devil, and
he's sick.
And Angel Devil's like
love for ice cream
arc. Because I really enjoyed Angel Devil in the manga, and I'm glad to see more of Angel Devil fleshed out, or all this stuff fleshed out in the anime as well. Yeah, Angel Devil is very very lazy and has does not really care for humanity, but again, we see kind of a development later that I really enjoy. And then also Angel is just cold as hell. One of my favorite scenes is actually at the very end when Reze makes the choice to go and see Denji at the cafe, and then she's intercepted by Makima being transported by mice. And then whenever Reze tries to attack Makima, Angel is on the rooftop throwing down spears.
And it makes an awesome sound. I love the way it sounds. It sounds like thunderbolts from God, basically.
Basically, because whenever they show them coming down the spears, they're literally just beams of light, and then they turn into a fucking spear, and it's just dismembering her. And like, there's a shot of him up there with his wings flapping and him holding a spear, and he just looks so angry. It's so good. Literally one of my favorite scenes, and
it's a devastating scene too, because it's just like Denji is always being manipulated and used. And yes, Reze did manipulate him and try to use him, but in the end, I really do think that Reze did like Denji a good bit. She even says before like the lights go out for her, is like
she wished she could have gone to school too.
Yeah, because she never
did. So it was revealed at the end by Captain Kashibe. Really good too sequence where it shows like the destruction of the city and like the music's playing. It's like a lullaby, and he's talking about how there's like this old tale talking about how there's these children that were kept in the secret Soviet Union bunker and were being experimented on, and turns out that this is kind of hinted at because one of the guys who dies, he's part of Division 2. He says that woman looks familiar, but I can't place it. It's because her and the other children were in a news report revealing about the bunker, that it is real and that it is a secret project by the Soviet Union. Her picture was in a bunch of newspapers before the story got killed. And part of that too is because, and I went back and read and checked the Wikipedia. Yes, she was an agent of the Soviet Union sent by the Soviet Union to get Chainsaw Man's heart. So that is confirmed.
There's a great scene where she's singing in Russian.
Yes,
I love that. You don't remember it in the manga because you can't fucking hear words on a paper. It's just another way that they elevated the content.
Yeah, and like you said too, like Reze was going to leave because when you think of like, normally at the end of the day, she's an agent, she had a mission, she failed, she's got to get the fuck out of there because now she is there's so much heat on her. But she risked it. She went back.
And Denji doesn't know that.
Denji,
that's another level of devastation.
Because
Denji has no clue.
Because the alley to the cafe that she was working at, that she was going to meet, is right there in front, where she was killed by Makima and Angel. And her and Denji's stories are similar. They were both taken advantage. They're both being controlled and taken advantage of by the powers that be. For Denji, it's the public safety department, and for her is the Soviet Union. They're both just weapons being used by the states.
You're gonna have to back that up, Sonny.
There's a car that's getting into a parking space, and they're having to back up because they overdid the turn. So they made it.
And even then, when Denji was younger, he was still controlled by the.
He was controlled by the Yakuza, because of the debt his father couldn't pay. So it's just they're both very similar in that they're experiencing abuse, and because of their experiences with abuse and trauma, which what makes it really sad. Basically two kindred spirits, and they never really connect in the end.
God, just seeing him being like, "Oh God, I have to stay for Makima. She's my number one." He's like, "Oh no, I got two ladies in my heart now."
It was very funny too. Cole talking about what he did remember, and he remembered the pinup versions of Makima, Reze, Angel, Kabeni, and Power, and he was like, "Out of everything I could remember, I remembered that." And for me, that was the only thing I fucking forgot. Besides one other thing, but that was the only thing I forgot. I was like, wow, I remembered everything else that was important but that.
Because I remember those being posted everywhere when Chainsaw Man was popping off and people were discovering it.
Yeah.
People were just gooning.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy sequence. But also, too, just again, that characterization of Denji, how, especially, too, for somebody who, that internal struggle of him who's really falling for Makima, but then he meets this Reze and is he doesn't know what to do. I really enjoy that, especially of of him being a teenager and experience these things for the first time. I really,
no spoilers, but watching this brings up feelings for the new parts and the current shit that's going on right now in the manga. No, it's not saying anything, but I just need Denji to catch a break, is all I'm saying.
Man. Yeah.
Let him have a little happiness before maybe shit happens.
Man. Yeah. But yeah, so then once God, it was such a cool to the serial killer scene, like Colt said. There's a serial killer who's working with the Typhoon Devil to also retrieve the Chainsaw Man's heart.
Typhoon Devil's a baby.
Not a bit. Typhoon Devil form is a giant baby, but half of its head's gone.
And it's spaghetti.
And its intestines are swirling around it like an intestine baby typhoon. One of my favorite devil designs. I'm very glad that its voice is just a baby voice. It's really cool. They did a really good job on the effect for that. And Reze intercepts the serial killer, kills him, and then gets the help of the Typhoon Devil to help her in retrieving his heart. Then it's a very brutal, horrifying scene where when Reze is enacting her plan, she kisses Denji, but Denji's struggling and the blood comes pouring out, and then he pulls back and he's on the ground spitting out blood because she has bitten his tongue off and she's holding his tongue in her mouth. God, and
his tongue looked tiny. I will say the proportions for that. I remember even the mom was like, "Why is his tongue so tiny?"
No, the proportions are really off. I agree.
This is a tiny nitpick. Does not fucking matter. This is not cinema sins. It's just something I noticed.
Yeah. And then she quickly basically dismembers his arm so that he can't pull his starter, and her mouth is just covered in blood, and Beam comes to save him, and it's just such a good scene where he's like, I should have known, it's the fucking bomb devil.
That bitch crazy.
That bitch is crazy. And then oh man, there's just a shot of her lips covered in blood, and she says boom as she pulls basically her starter, which is the pin on her neck,
It's a grenade.
It's a grenade, basically. Her head explodes, and that's how she activates her bomb powers.
She's Bakugo if he was evil.
Yeah.
That's how she was flying through the air and doing some badass shit.
Yeah, basically. And it's just every like all of her movements and scenes of her using her powers, just I can't say it enough. They're just incredibly just brutal. Like
it reminded me of a scene I saw from the newest season of My Hero. I saw a clip of Bakugo fighting or flying. That shit is awesome.
It is very similar to that, which is funny because Reze came out before that happens in the manga, so I think Horikoshi could have easily used Fujimoto's work as inspiration for that.
Yeah, I agree.
But like from then on, it's just nothing but like it's just constantly basically a chase because they're trying to get Denji away from her, and there's just nothing but chasing throughout the city, or her chasing them because. Eventually he does get to Beam is able to get him to the Division 2 place where we see Aki and some of his friends there, and
it's basically his old squad because they all basically have the same style of fighting and they have the same drip. I mean, that's the division, and even one of the older guys in the group has the same fucking top knot that Aki has, so I'm curious if there's like any he took a liking to that guy or something.
I'm very curious. I was very curious about Division 2. I wish we could have got to know more. That will never happen. That's just Fujimoto's style. I want to say basically like Division 2 was decimated because as soon as Reze shows up, she's the bomb devil. So she basically blows up the fucking building. But it is so cool seeing at least like how some of the hunters handle the situation, because at first when she pops up they send 2 hunters who have contracts with the mold devil to get mold growing inside of her organs.
That shit was cool. I really like that.
I love that. But then what she does is she rips her fucking head off, and what does she
basically becomes a starfish, makes her head grow a new body while her old body is a man-seeking bomb.
Yeah, and basically just kills those guys, blows up the building. The guy who we originally see interacting with Aki, who I'm going to just say is like the sub-captain or whatever.
Yeah.
What happens with him is that he looks like Kirishima with a nasty scar on his mouth. Basically, her headless body runs up to him, grabs him, holds him, and then just fucking explodes.
Very Rexplode.
It was so funny because Colt was like, "Hold on, Aki, I got this," and just dies.
He just fucking immediately gets fucked.
Well, he doesn't die yet because what happens is she makes her way and she's just eating people to getting blood or whatever, and at some point the sub-captain does show up again, and how he even got out of that situation I don't know, but he cut off his arm. And he's already like tied it up. He has a contract with the Fox Devil. He just uses.
It seems like everyone there had a contract with the Fox Devil.
Well, the Fox Devil is a common contract, so he uses her claws.
And he's a bit of a dick. And we knew that, but like it's just funny. He's like, ugh.
When did he say icky?
He said this should taste bad.
And then the Fox Devil. Fox Devil. Yeah. Okay. But what happens is the captain of Division 2 comes up. Again, looks cool, very unique design. Comes up and has the Fox Devil swallow her, but we know the Fox Devil does not like the taste of the hybrids. So sure enough, the Fox Devil's like, "Ugh," and then leaves.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of here. And then they're like, "All right, let's take her on or whatever." But then immediately after, Aki, Angel, Beam, and Denji are driving away, and then the Future Devil shows Aki a future, which is her jumping in front of the car with both of the heads of his friends, which is like, goddamn, brutal as all hell. Like, holy shit.
God, there's the fight between Aki and her. It's very short, but I loved seeing that in motion. That shit was so awesome. Just the flashes of the future. If he didn't have that, he would have been dead. And he even admits that. I would have been fucking dead.
I really love too, like, I do love how some of these guys who are just normal humans, and if they have really good contracts, they can almost seem superhuman, which I love that. I love how we know this isn't a spoiler, but like a lot of the devil hunters who survive and do what they do is because they're fucking batshit crazy and they have powerful devil contracts.
Yeah, like Kobeni. That's why in this movie she has one scene where she's on the ground. Please don't fucking kill me.
Please, I beg you, please.
I'll quit.
That wasn't a contract.
They did her so.
That was
did her
just
justice.
That was just her
great.
begging. Which, if you look at it in a certain lens, that's insane.
I just wish that Fujimoto would bring her back.
Because
I just want to know what the fuck her contract is.
This isn't a spoiler. We still don't know what her fucking contract is. We have no idea. Also, like, yeah, we have no fucking idea.
Also, she doesn't die. You don't really see what the Bomb Devil or Reze does with her, but she's not dead.
I will say that was the only thing that was cut out, is that in the manga, it shows her begging on the ground, and then Reze just walks away. But they don't show that in this.
So in this, it kind of feels like... Is she dead?
Is she dead? Yeah. A really funny scene, too, where Violence comes to the rescue, and he uses all of his power in a kick. Super cool. His leg gets huge.
Everything around them is like blast waves not explodes, but like air pushes everything away.
And Violence is one of my favorite fiends, because he's just like, oh shit!
You're too strong.
You're too strong.
I'm out of here. Kobeni, bye.
Tactical retreat. Kobeni, we need to go now. Bye. Leaves, and then Kobeni is trying to crawl away, and this is where she begs. Very funny. Later, Violence does pop up for Aki's fight, because Aki almost gets fucked. He almost gets killed. Yeah, Violence is a bro, so he saves him. And then Reze's like, hold on, time out. I'm practically naked and anemic, so can you guys just take it easy on me, or whatever? And Violence is like, all right, well, what do you think, Aki? Should we take it easy on her? Aki, of course, being like, fuck no!
He's like, sorry. It's got 2v1.
And then Reze's like, timeout over. Typhoon comes out, busting through a fucking building. It's like, I'm here, Reze! Oh my god.
Here, Reze! It's a baby.
It's a baby, but it's like echoey because he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
So cool. And then, yeah, we just get this, and then we get right into this scene where Angel and Beam are trying to explain to Denji how to use his chainsaw powers. And Denji's like, oh, I understand now. I get it. It's very good where he...
Pun.
You piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't get that fuck ass on my car.
Well, it's fun. There's somebody parking right now with a pun sticker. I assume they're going to go see Chainsaw Man.
Oh, yeah.
Let me make sure...
Sorry, I got distracted.
No, you're fine. But anyway, yeah, so... Denji's like, Beam, turn into a shark right now. Turns into a shark. Then he takes his chains, puts it around Beam's mouth, and he's like, I'm going to ride Beam like a horse.
Yep.
And Angel's
it's
like,
iconic.
And Angel's like, what? And Beam's like, this isn't what I meant. And that's just what he does. So
it's hilarious seeing it in motion. Just like, I love Beam so much because he's basically a shark with 4 legs.
With ant legs.
It's cute.
It's so funny.
And he, in the movie, he has like special cartoon sound effects for some fucking reason. But I love them so much.
Because he's like an inflatable... He looks like an inflatable fucking shark. He doesn't look real.
He's got like spider eyes too. It's strange.
Yeah, he has like 6 eyes.
Yeah.
Because that's the shark devil's true form. So
I don't understand why, but it's cool looking. That's the only answer, really.
Yeah, but but it's still pretty cool. Like them riding around, and they even say this is basically like a kaiju battle. Chainsaw.
He even said kaiju, but the subtitles did not.
It says monster, you know.
Yeah, but like he said kaiju. People know what a kaiju is.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's Chainsaw and Shark versus Bomb and Typhoon. Which one's gonna win? That sounds all those titles sound cold as hell, but the most powerful ones sound kind of like Bomb and Typhoon.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously Denji does win, but before we get into that, the animation for this whole fight sequence was insane, because it's literally nothing but Denji flying around with Beam, like...
It's pretty one-sided.
Dodging, like, fucking bomb shots, but Denji is like, we gotta take out the Typhoon Devil, so that's what he goes to after getting away from Reze, and it's really cool where, I mean, it's easy, basically, Denji just has to get his blades in the intestines, and then just, it naturally just spins him around and around and around. It's so cool, but all these buildings and shit are flying around, they're flying around, I can't even describe it, it's fucking chaos, but it's awesome, and he turns fucking Typhoon into spaghetti.
Yeah.
Because once he kills Typhoon, it's just all these organs everywhere. There is a sea of fucking blood. God, and then there's just this fight scene of Denji and Reze in a building. Beam comes to save him, but she completely annihilates this fucking building, and then Denji sneaks into Beam's mouth, and with Beam trying to get away from Reze, there's just a slow motion shot where, because Reze's moving so fast, Beam is standing still, and she just does all these like punches to his stomach.
It reminded me of My Hero in the movie. Where he punches the shit out of that one priest guy.
And he punches the shit out of the dude. It's like the World Heroes mission or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Oh man, so cool.
That shark should be dead, but no, he's not.
He's not. There's also a really cool scene with Aki and Angel, because Angel's about to fly into the typhoon and all the shit, and Aki's trying to save Angel, and Angel's like, I want to die. You know, it's pretty emotional if you with everything that we've learned recently, but also if Angel's like, I want to die, it's okay. And Aki, he doesn't want to watch any more of his friends die.
And he loves twinks.
Aki stated previously in the movie that, I don't think me and Angel can ever become friends, but that character development, him and Angel do become friends.
They become more than friends.
So he saves Angel, holds on to him, but if anybody remembers, if you touch Angel, takes off years of your life. And again, I need to go back and look, but from what I read, they say that how much life he loses. He says 2 months. I assume he loses almost all of his life, so he only has 2 months to live. Could be that he lost 2 months. I could be that. You're right, but again, very good scene. And also too, something they did differently for the sub in here is that Angel's power is, I read it originally in the manga as that he takes the lifespan of humans and turns that into weapons. But how they have it here is that takes the lifespan and turns the humans into weapons. And then not only that, the blade that Aki uses is one of Angel's special weapons. I don't remember that. But yeah, just something I again love about Angel and their power.
It makes me curious about the Chainsaw Man novels, because that is actually stuff I have not read, and I have no knowledge of what's in them, because I think they're canon.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
maybe you should check those out.
Maybe, but yeah. Then finally, in the final confrontation, a really good scene where Denji is able to trap Reze underwater, basically by wrapping his chains around her, and they kind of drown. But in that moment too, we get cut back to, or it's spliced with the scenes of him and Reze going swimming and him learning to swim for the first time in the pool. Just really gorgeous scene. Just their whole sequence of them sneaking into the school at night and just having fun and going to that festival. It just the theme of love, and then later that love gone, that love loss. Just beautiful, just incredible of young love, especially.
And it like I said earlier, it's just a pain, just because there was actual love there, and Reze wanted to actually continue that relationship, but she can't because Makima is a bitch.
There's a lot of stuff against her too, and Denji himself, because there was that question asked of which do you prefer, the country mice or the city country mouse or city mouse. It is a Aesop fable. Country mouse gets to live a peaceful life in the country and is able to get food, but it's it's just boring and uneventful. The city mouse, I don't know why I say mice, gets to eat good food, but it's in constant threat of dying. And everybody kind of gives different answers. Reze chooses the country mouse, while Denji chooses the city mouse. And I think that moment in particular, with using that fable, is just a really good characterization of not only Reze but of Denji and like just overall the major theme of Chainsaw Man. I really like the country mouse, city mouse.
I agree. I like it.
But yeah, and then like we said, the film ends with Reze being killed by Makima and Angel, and Denji never getting to meet back up with Reze at the cafe.
But it really ends with Denji eating some flowers and hanging with some dumb bitch.
Yeah, Power ends up coming back from her time at the department.
She's got spayed and neutered.
And it's kind of this really, like, kind of to ease off of everything that's happened. But basically, Power comes in there. She's tracked Denji by a scent, and Denji has a bunch of flowers, and she's like, "Are those flowers for me?" And it's kind of like she's blushing in this moment of them staring at each other. It's like, oh man, is he gonna give her those flowers? Are we gonna have a tender moment? But then Denji's like, "Nope, they're for me," and starts eating them. And Power's like, "Give me the flowers!" So
it's great.
That's how the movie ends. Incredible, just phenomenal, crushes me.
Yeah, like this thing with Chainsaw Man, it has some fucking awesome moments, but you know how it's gonna end. It's horrid pain.
It's gonna end in heartbreak. Yeah. Gosh. So
5 stars. I love this film.
5
I want to
stars.
watch it again, not in 3D.
Same. I told Cole I want to rewatch that intro just because of all the little details that are in there. Because like I said, that 3D kind of keeping it in a box, it was kind of hard to follow. So I would love to be able to rewatch it. 5 stars, of course, 10 out of 10. One of my favorite films this year. But we still got a lot of year left, so we'll see what happens. But yeah. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
Jesus Christ. Fujimoto, please give him a break. Also, just like, I don't know, man. Maybe for your next work, just have someone else draw, and also maybe make it a little happier. Or just do a fucking whole kinky thing, because I know you're into women beating the shit out of you. So just make it freaky. It's already freaky, but more freaky.
Well, thank you for listening. We are the All You Can Hear podcasts. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast. We're on YouTube as All You Can Hear, where all of our episodes get uploaded as well, along with the VODs from our Twitch on twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear, including the instruction booklets, VODs, and episodes as well. So please go check those out. And you can follow us on Bluesky at AYCHpodcast.bsky.social. And lastly, you can follow me, Wenzel, on Bluesky at World of Wenzy and Wenzel's Essentials. And my link tree has links for everything.
And my name's Colt. Follow me on Bluesky, Colt99. Let my Rasengan destroy you. Oh, 420? You didn't even do a weed joke.
Because I have an episode to do.
Do a weed joke.
6-7.
Oh.